to another edition of NASCAR 22 on the channel. We will be racing at the Talladega Super Speedway for the running of the Geico 500 today. And needless to say, it is our second attempt at it. Got my PS2 controller wrapped around my headset right now. There we go. Now we're good. Not ready to pull my ear off anymore, so that's good. Alright, so coming into this race, we're going to try this again. We obviously tried to start this race. It did start this race last night. The game crashed on me when I was uploading the game yesterday, and then it crashed on me again during the race yesterday. Once we got about 70 to 75 laps in, we were very early in stage 2 when it crashed. So hopefully it doesn't crash again. I don't know what the issue was with it yesterday that it was doing that. But we had a couple glitches that I've never had on this game before leading up to that as well, so I don't know if maybe that played in. But we'll see if we can get some good racing. Needless to say, let's hurry up and get this underway. Kevin Harvick will be on the pole because we did qualify on the pole yesterday. I did not re-qualify, so there's kind of a randomized starting order outside of the 4-car at the front of the field. But green flag is going to be in the air. Kevin Harvick will lead the field to the green, and we're going to try the Geico 500 at Talladega for the second straight race and the second straight day. Who will get up to speed first? Kevin Harvick up to 5th gear quickly now, getting a push on the bottom lane from Ty Dillon in the 42. Harvick moves up across the front bumper, the 7 of Corey LaJoie. One thing we noticed from yesterday's race is that Kevin Harvick couldn't really go as far on fuel when he was out leading the pack compared to everybody else. We do have expert difficulty on. You can see already he's trying to pull away from the pack. If they do get a run on him in the draft, though, they're going to have a major run. It's Cody Ware trying to control everybody back there at that randomized starting order. Some of the drivers you wouldn't typically see at the front of the field are up at the front for the start. But Kevin Harvick going to lead lap 1 at Talladega today. NASCAR ignition take 3, yep. It's our second attempt at the race, but it did crash on me twice, so hopefully we don't have any issues with it today. That was yesterday where that happened, not today. But Patrick Chatterley, Billy Kramer, Vlogs and Gaming with Tommy, thanks for tuning in, guys. Already Kevin Harvick pulling away. I don't know why the AI are so slow at Talladega. Kevin Harvick by himself is pulling away from the pack right now. He had help from Kyle Larson. It was kind of a 2-car tandem to pull away from the pack yesterday, but he is pulling away by himself. We'll see if maybe some of the faster cars get to the front of the field, if maybe they'll be able to run the 4-car down, but for right now, things are looking very, very easy for the 4 team. CM the NASCAR Fan 9, thanks for tuning in. Thumbnail says it's going to be a strategy race today, and I do believe that because it is going to be a strategy race for the reasons that if we don't see a lot of cautions in today's race, you're going to want to split the stage in half. But do you take tires? Do you not take tires to try to save some time in case we get a caution? Because if a caution comes out while we're on pit road, and the field already makes their way around us, which obviously Talladega is a very likely possibility that that would happen. That would mean that we would get trapped a lap down. We had that issue yesterday where we actually fell 2 laps down because of cautions based off of scoring glitches in the race before the game crashed. So luckily we get a reset. We don't have to come from 2 laps down to the start of the race today. We're going to have to just see how this is all going to go into play. I mean, you want to stay out as long as you possibly can, but if you can conserve your tires well enough, which Talladega, it's kind of hard to do that, but try to make the least amount of aggressive moves and mistakes and try to conserve those tires a bit. Not going to be able to save fuel again because he doesn't have anybody to draft with. Wins on lap 4, they are so slow. I don't know why they're so slow. They were slow last night, I noticed, but we were actually racing in a pack for about 5 or 6 laps yesterday. Today, that's not the case. I think that's because of the randomized starting order. Instead of qualifying, had all of the slower cars towards the front, so I kind of held everybody up. And I don't even need draft to pull away. I mean, Kevin Harvick's got almost a 4-second lead. He's about a second a lap faster than the pack right now, essentially. No wonder he's burning more fuel. It's not like I'm going that fast. Like, I'm going normal single car speed with the next gen car at Talladega. Single car speed, end of the straightaways, mid 180s. You know, that's normal when you don't have any car behind you or in front of you drafting. So I'm not sure why I'm this fast compared to the rest of the pack. Like I said, it's on expert difficulty, so I can't really do anything about it. But Daytona and Atlanta were not like this. For whatever reason, Talladega, I'm much faster than everybody else. Wade Solinsky, thanks for tuning in. Decoy, thanks for tuning in also. They brake check so much. Yeah, we did find that out in the pack, but I will say it didn't seem like they were brake checking quite a bit when I was leading the pack in those first handful of laps. Once that first caution came out, it seemed like they were brake checking a lot. They may be doing that for sure, though. Harvick's fastest lap was his last one, 52.417. You're not going to see extreme speeds out of the four unless he's in the draft a little later. Want to keep the track position, too. It's another reason why it's strategy. Because of the checkups, you don't want to get involved in an accident mid-pack by just simply running there. Akeka Stewart, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully I said your name correctly. And aloha. Jacob NASCAR also welcome into the stream. Ross Chastain's worked his way up to third place. Eric Jones trying to lead that pack right now with Chastain and Allmendinger. I mean, this is absurd that Kevin Harvick's pulling away on his own. Like I said, yesterday we had Kyle Larson with us at least. We were tandeming away, but Kevin Harvick's just pulling away all on his own. Look at how much fuel he's burning already. If you look at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, we're 7 laps complete. He's burned almost a quarter tank of gas. It's going to be a one-stop stage for each of the 3 stages today. That's including pitting during the 2-stage break. So it's likely to be a 5 pit stop race. Although the final stage is 68 laps. So we'll alternate through the different camera angles for the first time in the race today. But the final stage is going to be 68 laps in length. And this stage, as well as stage 2, is 60. So you can easily make it a one-stop here. But it's going to be borderline questionable on whether you're going to make it a 1 or 2 stops in that final stage if we don't get any cautions within the stage. See how it plays out. Yeah, that wall ride move will not work at Talladega. I can tell you that much right now. A lot of the intermediate tracks, it just won't work. You're already going so fast. Blaney could have been championship 4 right now, but he wasn't. So, driver error in the first 2 races of the round costed him. Spun out twice. Can't do that late in the playoffs and expect to make it to the next round unless you win. And put up a valiant effort at Martinsville. Finished 3rd, ran top 5 all day, but didn't quite have a race-winning car. That was for the Toyotas of Hamlin and Bell. They definitely had the 2 fastest cars in the race. They led the 2 most laps. Chastain up to 2nd, trying to lead that group. And we've got a couple cars catching up to Kevin Harvick as they were drafting with each other. Ross Chastain and Eric Jones. And Harvick's got some company at the front of the field with a couple Chevrolets behind the Ford. Chastain going to look to the bottom. So they were about 5 seconds off the lead, and they kind of came up out of nowhere. Harvick had the wherewithal to pull down and block, though. Tries to maintain in front of the one of Chastain. We'll see if Chastain is going to be patient or if he's going to try to get some help from Eric Jones. And work the way up there. So we got a little 3-car battle for the lead, and a 3-car breakaway in front of the pack. Austin Cindric now trying to lead that lead pack back there in 4th place. Chastain went to the outside, but Eric Jones stayed down on the bottom with Harvick. That's one thing with 3 cars. It's going to be 2v1 pretty much any way they try to go here. So we'll see. They could try to back up to get a run and work together to get by Harvick. Harvick might be a sitting duck if that does happen, if they both decide to choose the same lane at the same time. Jones hanging on to that 2nd place position right now. Cindric still about 5.5 seconds off the race lead. Chastain back on the bottom behind the 43 of Jones once again. Well, Harvick stays on the double yellow line as he has for pretty much the entire race. Lap 12 of 188 in the Geico 500 at Talladega on NASCAR 22 tonight. No, my favorite driver is actually Ryan Blaney, but I'm driving as Kevin Harvick for this season because you guys voted for me to race as Harvick for this NASCAR 22 season. Various polls in the chat before the update for the game came out last month, and here we are. Hi, Stephen King 92 Hammer, thanks for tuning in. Probably going to have some lap traffic at the tail end of the field eventually. Just like we were seeing in Stage 1 before green flag pit stops took place when we tried this race yesterday before the game crashed. Hit that like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Our goal is going to be 50 likes on the stream tonight. We're at 9 already in the first 13 laps. So we could definitely get there. Be sure to hit that like button. Helps these streams and the videos out on the channel a ton. Helps me out a ton. And appreciate you guys tuning in. Real race commentary on the race weekends and then the video game stuff during the week. But this weekend I will actually be at Phoenix for all 3 series, the Truck, Xfinity, and Cup Series races. For the races I go to in person, race highlight videos from the grandstands will be up on the channel each night of the races that take place this weekend. Once I get back to my hotel room every night after the race, I'll get those uploaded ASAP. No stability help on tonight. Worth noting. Gotta be careful making super aggressive moves. That's also gonna be interesting to see exactly what the pit strategy will be. Because if you take no tires, I have a feeling this car is gonna be pretty slick. Even though there's somewhat cooler temperatures. My look back cam's not working. Does it not work when I have the pit options open? Well, that's different. I didn't realize that. I was trying to use a look back cam. It wasn't letting me with the pit options open. Dark Crypto, Christopher Jimenez, thanks for tuning in, guys. Chastain got around Eric Jones up on the outside when Harvick moved up on the back straightaway. I think the 1 car seems a little bit faster than the 43. Slightly better equipment. That Trackhouse Racing Chevrolet than maybe the 43 for the Petty GMS team. And by the way, Austin Cindric in 4th, plus whoever's in 5th place who they're working with, is catching up to this 3-car pack at the front of the field. They were 5.5 seconds off the lead not that long ago. And now they're sitting at 4 seconds off the lead. So they are closing in, and I think it's every time the 1, the 43 gets side by side is where they're really starting to close. While the top 3 are closing in on some lap cars at the tail end of the field. Bell's your pick. I think Bell or Chastain's going to win the championship going into this weekend. They have both been the fastest of the 4 collectively over the last few rounds of the playoffs. on speed. Even though Logano won Vegas, he hasn't really done so hot the last 2 races outside of Vegas. At least nowhere compared to the 20 and the 1. Chase Elliott's not been great the entire last 10, 11 races. Ever since Daytona for that regular season finale, really. He was my pick to win the championship before the season even started, so it'd be kind of cool if he won it just for the sake of my prediction being right, but I think I predicted him to win 6 races too, so if he wins the race, wins the championship, I would have predicted the amount of wins for Chase Elliott this season and the championship. That was before Daytona at the start of the year. Actually, before the Clash, I believe. So I guess there's just one car at the tail end of the field that lost the lead draft, and that's Greg Biffle in the 44 for New York Racing. Jones back in second place again. Cindric less than 3 seconds off the lead. Harvick going to get a nice little draft off the 44 of Greg Biffle. And he'll move up to the outside to pass the Biff. Heading towards turn 1. Chastain going to bump draft the 43 of Eric Jones behind them as well. Two days since wall ride. Mouth is still open. Thanks for tuning in. That's funny. Chastain and Jones splitting apart again. I'm kind of secretly pulling for Chastain to win the championship just because of the wall ride move at Martinsville. So that's the only reason he's in the championship for, based off the at least based off the finishing results. Obviously, he did a great job in the first 2 races of the round, finishing second and second as well. I mean, how about that? Second, and fourth? Because I think Keselowski got DQ'd at the end of the race on Sunday. Or after the race on Sunday. It had something to do with his car being too heavy. Chastain's got to run. Harvick faked high. And that one car might be on the outside of the 4, but Jones did not go with him. And I think if Eric Jones would have went with Chastain with the run the one car had, I think they would have gotten around Kevin Harvick. So Harvick has a fast car, but I don't know that he's got the fastest car. Things kind of got scrambled up there at the very beginning. That lap car of Greg Biffle might have held up Austin Cindric. That 5th place car as well behind him just a little bit. Harvick's got about a half a second lead over Jones and Chastain. I mean, we just streamed last night and I had to work yesterday, so... Oh, wait, Halloween was Monday? I don't know, pretty quiet. Stream. Didn't really do anything. Our trick-or-treating and stuff in town was on Sunday. But I was commentating the race through most of it, so... The end of the race, at least. Jones and Chastain falling back. They're 2 seconds off the race lead, and Austin Cindric's within a half a second of those second and third place race cars. So Harvick pulling away again, but if those guys could get single file, that's going to be 4 or 5 versus just the one of Harvick. The one car of Harvick. "20 laps complete thus far to start the race in this opening stage." I mean, honestly, it'd be cool to see Justin Allgaier win the championship just because he hasn't won one yet in his career, and he's been in this situation so many times. Josh Berry's a cool underdog story, too. Honestly, Berry's underdog story is similar to that of Chastain in the sense that they kind of came up out of nowhere within the last couple of years and really turned it on in their series they've been running in full time. Cup Series this year with Chastain, and Berry last season and a half in the Xfinity Series. Difference between the two is that Chastain has been in NASCAR for a while, just racing with back markers, and Berry wasn't even in NASCAR for the longest time. He was kind of racing local short track stuff, late models. Yeah, so have to make it to at least lap 30 before Kevin Harvick pits. Doesn't want to lock the tires up coming into the pits in case he goes fuel only as well. Deegan's likely going to Xfinity. I know they're working on a full-time deal with some sort of an SHR-backed race car. It's just a matter of funding, which I'm sure she'll find the money for funding. So I think she'll be in the Xfinity Series next season. Brad Keselowski, by the way, was that driver working with Austin Cindric. So outside of Kevin Harvick, everybody else in the top 5 has not won a race yet this season. And Talladega is definitely a place where we could see another new winner. We are sitting at just 5 different winners through 9 races because Harvick has won 5 of them himself. Every short track race he has been able to win, including on dirt at Bristol in the last race. He's won 3 in a row coming into this one, so the quest to win 4 straight is going to have to come right here at the high banks at Talladega Superspeedway. This beastly racetrack. It's not going to be easy by any means to win at Talladega for 4 straight victories, even though it's looking easy now. Can't take anything for granted, especially in these full races, no matter what the NASCAR game is, but especially this game. I agree with you, Patrick. Every season seems like it flies by once you get to this point in the year and you're just looking back on it as a whole. Harvick's wearing out that left rear tire a little bit more than the other tires on the race car right now. About a quarter tank of gas left, so he's definitely going to be able to go another 5.5 laps to make it to lap 30. Chastain leading that group again with Keselowski and Eric Jones behind him. Cindric in that single file pack. They're 1.5 seconds behind Harvick into turns 3 and 4 and closing. And now that they have more than just 2 cars, it's going to be tough for Harvick to make the block when they get there. They're going to have a massive run once they catch the draft of Kevin Harvick. We'll see what Harvick's going to do to try to hold on to the lead. Michael Turner, thanks for tuning in. Down the back straightaway, got a couple cars pulling out of line back there. Chastain having to go up to block Keselowski, who got a great push from the 43 of Eric Jones. Lost a little bit of time when they all started racing each other back there to Harvick again. It's kind of what Harvick needs for right now. Less pressure when he tries to pull into the pits of potential accident happening. I'd like to know if we can go 34 laps. I don't think we can. Harvick has led all 26 laps so far, so he has not been able to save any fuel in the draft. At least with the car in front of him to draft off of. No, Truex isn't retiring this season. He's coming back to JGR next year. Or he signed a contract extension mid-season. Still second and a half off the lead is Chastain. Cindric up to third. Make that Eric Jones up to third, and that's why they're not closing in on Harvick anymore. Look at them battling for position back there, all four of them. Keselowski better try to stay in line because he looks like he's about ready to lose the three cars right in front of him. Every time they pull out of line, they lose more and more time. When Chastain's the lead car in that draft, it does seem like that they are pulling Harvick a little bit faster. Especially compared to when Eric Jones is in the front of the line. .8 seconds off the lead at the start-finish line, lap 29. We'll be halfway through the stage in 2 more laps. 31 playoff points this year with 6 stage wins and 5 race wins for Kevin Harvick. Again, through 9 races. I think the short tracks are going to definitely be the strong suit for Harvick this season. And there's so many of them at the beginning of the year, but a lot more intermediate tracks in the middle portion of the season leading into the playoffs. So we'll see if he can try to hone things in a little bit. He finished 17th in the season opening Daytona 500, but then won at Atlanta on the newly remodeled super speedway there. A few seconds off the lead again. Harvick definitely taking the shortest way around all the way around the racetrack, but I don't think it's going to matter a whole lot. Still debating on whether or not to take tires. Definitely taking a full tank of fuel. Only one car is a lap down right now. That would be Greg Biffle in the 44. Everybody else still in the lead lap. Biffle was the only one that lost that lead draft at the start of the race. Halfway through stage 1 now, 30 down, 30 to go. And of course, the pit stops could shake things up as well. Harvick may not even have the lead after pit stops. Harvick will stay out of the pits this time by. Crew chief telling Kevin Harvick to pit this lap. Harvick 2.5 seconds still ahead of Chastain, Cindric, Jones, and Keselowski. Will this be the lap Kevin Harvick pits? And I think it will. No need to risk it any further. So it's going to be a fuel-only stop for Kevin Harvick. Can't lock the tires up because it is going to be a fuel-only stop. Oh, he slides the car. Well, he's going to have to pit for tires. Never mind. Just slammed the inside wall. He skidded the tires trying to slow the race car down. I mean, hitting the wall kind of helped him get the pit road speed, but if you were going to blow a left front tire, that would be the way to do it, is already on your entry to pit road. But that is going to cost him a little bit of time on pit entry. That was not a great pit entry at all. So Harvick slid the race car, and he's in that #1 pit box after qualifying on the pole. Kind of... I don't know why there's damage on the front of the race car when I hit flat with the left side. The damage model isn't exactly accurate in this game. Harvick getting up to speed down on the apron of the racetrack. No Torres, thanks for tuning in. Harvick getting up to speed. Oof. Dang it, clip the apron. Don't want to transition right there. Making all sorts of mental errors. Harvick's still going to be on the lead lap back in 39th. Last car on the lead lap, his teammate Cole Custer not that much further up ahead. Not sure what your name is in the chat, but we got a newcomer in the chat. Thanks for tuning in. Well, the goal right now for Kevin Harvick, it's not much of a goal. It's just kind of hoping that a caution doesn't come out. That was not a great pit road entry for him, though. I'll tell you that much. Definitely cost him some time. He's got to hope he can cycle out in front of everybody. With the leaders where they're at on the racetrack right now, if a caution comes out, definitely not going to make it. I'd have to imagine that the field will not pit during the stage break with how long they're going now. There are a couple cars on pit road as we speak. Harvick will cycle out in front of Biffle, who's already a lap down. And I think the leaders just pit behind Kevin Harvick that last time through. So next time through turns 1 and 2, we'll find out if Kevin Harvick is going to cycle back into the lead or not. He led every lap of this race leading up to his green flag pit stop at lap 32. He led the first 31 laps of the race. Eric Jones is actually the car in front of Kevin Harvick, so he already pitted. Has cycled off of pit lane in front of the 4, and he was in that lead pack inside the top 5. So Harvick trying to play catch up with Jones. Santiago Kid, thanks for tuning in. A lot more cars on pit road right now. Not the entire rest of the field, but quite a few of them. There's Cindric. He was in the lead pack. Chastain, Harvick out in front of both of those guys. But Eric Jones looking like he'll be the eventual race leader once things cycle through. Harvick trying to close in on the 43. Jones has been running the outside all the way around the racetrack. We'll see if he'll go down to the bottom to block Kevin Harvick once Harvick gets there. Harvick not even going to use any draft. Gets to the inside of Jones. And clears him off of turn 4. Caution is out, though, and that might trap Kevin Harvick a lap down. We'll have to wait and see. Caution is out, though, and Harvick will stay out of the pits. Our first caution of the race, right at lap 38, I believe, is when it came out. And the green flag will be back in the air, and Harvick's going to be in 26 as he just got in front of Jones, but I think, unfortunately, he's going to be a lap down to start the stage. Already have some checking up going on. Harvick managing the throttle as they're getting up to speed at Talladega. 3 wide down to the bottom, trying not to go below that double yellow line on the inside of the racetrack. That would be out of bounds. But he is making some passes down on the bottom. Everybody just kind of moving up off the double yellow line. And he's going to hop right in line behind Tyler Reddick. Reddick in 16th. Harvick 17th. Harvick to push Reddick into turn 3. I want to be careful, potentially bump draft in the middle of the corner. Busch in 15th up ahead. Kyle Larson's the race leader right now. Harvick trying to bump draft Reddick. He'll push him on the straightaways, but he's not going to push him in the corners. Todd Gilliland trying to keep up with these two. Ryan Blaney in 2nd. So Harvick is a lap down after that caution, unfortunately. So he's trying to get back on the lead lap. Kevin Harvick trying to get back on the lead lap before the end of stage 1. And he is pushing the heck out of Tyler Reddick right now in the back straightaway. Larson's that next car up in front of the 8 and the 4. Middle of turns 3 and 4. Harvick still pushing Reddick. And Larson's coming into the pit, so he didn't pit under the caution. And the rest of the leaders are on their way in, so we might have a race for the stage win anyway. Harvick pushing Reddick again in the tri-oval. Very risky with these pushes right now as Kevin Harvick in the 4 trying to get up to the leaders desperately. He's got to make sure he hits him square. So far he has. Or at least square enough, and Reddick's been able to hold on to his race car, and Harvick's been able to hold on to his race car. Almost wonder if Kevin Harvick might be a little bit faster than Tyler Reddick. He's going to go to the inside in the tri-oval. Well, that's one way to get Harvick back on the lead lap. We'll see if we actually stay green. He should cycle back in the top 10 at the very least. Ty Dillon in 11th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is in 10th, just up ahead of Harvick. And there are the cars down in the inside lane right now. They'll cycle out right with the leaders. Harvick's had a massive run on Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the back straightaway. Pulls to the outside, and Harvick's back inside the top 10. So, looking at stage points, at least here in stage 1, field very spaced apart after some green flag pit stops. And he couldn't quite get up to that lead pack quick enough on the restart. Tyler Reddick was kind of holding up Kevin Harvick. Harvick was trying to bump draft and get him up there, but unfortunately, it was not the case. A lot of 2 and 3 wide racing going on in that pack up ahead. We noticed that slowed the pack down at one point earlier in the day, so maybe Harvick's got a shot to catch him. Still 15 laps to go in stage 1. 18 likes on the stream right now as well. Be sure to hit that like button if you have not done so already. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Our goal is 50 likes on the stream tonight. I think we could easily get there. Not even done with stage 1. We're almost 40% of the way there. Harvick doesn't have any drafting help right now, and that's hurting him. Kind of wants cars behind him because he's been really fast as the lead car in the draft pretty much all day today. He's in 10th, but to lead as many laps as he did early after starting on the pole and not have a shot to win stage 1 the way things are looking right now. He'd like for that to change if at all possible. He's definitely got some damage on the left side of the race car that could be slowing him down after trying to make his way on his green flag pit stop. He kind of slid the tires a bit and didn't spin out, but kind of pancaked the left side of the race car into the wall. And I think that damage is definitely hurting the Ford just a bit. 3 seconds behind his teammate Eric Almirola. I wish this was NASCAR team control where I could just, you know, have Eric Almirola drop back so I can have some drafting help. But it is a 9-car breakaway at the front of the field, and they're racing pretty aggressively with each other. And Harvick cannot catch up to these guys. From what it looks, he's probably going to need another caution. Beastman, YT, thanks for tuning in. I did see it. I was commentating on the channel on Sunday. If you're a NASCAR fan, I don't know who would have not seen it at this point. So it's got over 100 million views across, what, 4 different social media platforms? Alright, so Harvick might have a little bit of help now. He's starting to lose Tyler Reddick. Or I should say Tyler Reddick and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. starting to catch up to Kevin Harvick. Harvick Harvick blocked that run on the outside. He's going to try to be the lead car for at least about a lap or so, and we'll find out if he's going to be able to catch these guys on his own or not. Looks like Stenhouse is going to pit anyway. Logano, Reddick, Ty Dillon. It's like 4 cars trying to draft up to Kevin Harvick. Yes, this is the redo race from last night. Thanks for tuning in, by the way, Corey. Alright, we got 11 to go this time by at the line. And Harvick is falling back of the top 9 right now. He just couldn't get up through the field quick enough. Are we going to move to the outside? He's hoping that this pack of cars closes in on him. And then in the hopes that he can hopefully himself fall in line with these guys. But I don't think Harvick can be the lead car anymore with the damage on the left side. The weird thing is the damage registered on the nose even though I pancaked the left side of the car. I feel like anyway damage would still hurt the race car speed-wise. But I don't think it should hurt it as bad as it's actually hurting it. But it put the damage pretty much in the wrong spot. Are we going to fall in line right in front of Justin Haley? Really hoping Ty Dillon and Joey Logano don't completely pull away. I don't think they will because they're closing in on a lap car of Josh Bilicki. And the 77, and Harvick is starting to reel the 2 cars in front of him back once again. Big run for Harvick, a little push to Ty Dillon in the 42. And he'll keep bump drafting him all the way through the middle of turns 3 and 4. And Ty Dillon up to 10th. Logano going to have to drop back to 12th place, and Ty Dillon's going to try to lead this group. And Ty Dillon's teammate Eric Jones is up there, battling with the leaders. Well, actually, he was earlier. Not anymore, because he was back with Harvick when the caution came out, 26th. 6.5 seconds off the lead with 9 to go in the stage is Ty Dillon, Kevin Harvick, and Joey Logano. They pulled away from Justin Haley, who was in this group. I think Haley got held up a little longer behind Bilicki. Harvick had a big run, and that push almost did not work in the middle of the tri-oval. I should say the middle of the corner, not the tri-oval. Now we're in the tri-oval. Got him a little bit too much on the left rear corner panel. Harvick to the outside with the 22 of Logano behind him. Logano going to give the 4 a push. Harvick back into 10th again. A lot more cars all of a sudden in this group. I don't think they're going to have a chance to catch these guys regardless of how they're running right now. Harvick might as well just try to hang on for this lone stage point then. For finishing 10th. Definitely, I don't know if I'm going to pit during the stage or not. I think I'm going to just in case I do pit. I don't think they will. I hate that I'm going to have to be back in traffic, though, because they do slow down quite a bit on the restarts, as we saw in the first restart. We've only had one caution so far today. Charles Sasser, thanks for tuning in. What happened yesterday? The game crashed. Sent me to the blue screen, and then sent me, it literally logged me out of the application. It did it to me twice. The second time it did it to me was on stream. It did it once before stream, once on stream, and the one time it did it to me during stream, we were already 70 laps into the race, so hopefully when we get into stage 2, it doesn't happen again. So we got a little battle for 10th place going on right now in the pack. Kevin Harvick thought about moving down to the bottom in front of Tyler Reddick in the 8. Finally does. Probably should have moved down much quicker. Gaggle of cars battling back for 15th. And 2 cars starting to break away now from Kevin Harvick of Ty Dillon and Justin Haley. They're going to separate just a little bit middle of the corner. Reddick could stay on the back of the 4 car. They're definitely going to close in. I think the 48 of Alex Bowman might have lost that lead pack just a bit. Look at the run Kevin Harvick's got down on the bottom of the racetrack. Blows by both of them. So I believe Alex Bowman has lost the lead draft. That's going to be another spot and another stage point up for grabs. It is a very tight points battle between William Byron and Kevin Harvick for the regular season championship, and Byron currently is in 8th, Harvick in 10th, so both looking at stage points, but Byron has the upper hand right now. Harvick definitely trying to hang on, 4 seconds behind Bowman. They'll have 4 to go this time by. As long as they're at least a second a lap faster, they'll catch the 48, which I think they are. Well more than a second a lap faster with being in the draft and Bowman not having any help anymore. I don't know that they can catch Byron. He's 6 seconds ahead yet with 4 to go. Once the 10th place car crosses the start-finish line, that will be the official end of the stage unless we get a caution for incident before that. This game doesn't always allow me to cross the start-finish line, though, if I'm in the top 10 and not in the stage lead. So hopefully it does it this time. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Logano in the rear view of Kevin Harvick. Pulling up towards that outside lane. Harvick staying down on the double yellow line. Notice Joey Logano didn't have anybody with him. Tyler Reddick, Justin Haley kind of fell back a little bit. And they're probably going to get to this 48 car next lap. 3 laps to go, though, to catch Byron. They gained a 1.5 seconds on him that last lap. They might have to pick up the pace just a hair to catch the 24. Logano pushing Harvick. Not physically bump drafting him, but staying close in line behind him, managing his throttle. Steps out of line just a little bit on the back straightaway. There's some cars behind him that were starting to move up. Now Reddick moves down to the bottom. Harvick just trying to block the 22. And I believe Reddick's going to get to the inside of Joey Logano now. Potentially. And they are closing in on Bowman, and Bowman's going to try to do his own blocking job, it looks like, off turn 4. Harvick trying to get a run in the draft behind the 48. Position up for grabs here. Another stage point will be awarded in a couple laps. Harvick to the outside of the 48 of Alex Bowman. No chance for Bowman to throw the block with the draft of cars coming in hot behind him. Bowman slides up, though, right in front of the 22 of Joey Logano. So he couldn't block Harvick, but he does block Logano. Harvick up to 8th, Byron to 7th. I think somebody dropped out of the top 10 outside of Bowman. Or dropped out of the lead pack outside of Bowman. These guys might have already passed. I think somebody pitted. It's amazing how fast that lead pack is, though. Less than 2 seconds behind William Byron, but they're coming to the final lap of the stage this time by. Byron's on the outside. Surprised he's not taking the shortest way around. It'll be the final lap of stage 1 at the start-finish line. 2.66 miles. And the 2 regular season champions are running side by side. Harvick wasn't paying attention out of the rear view, and Alex Bowman's going to get by him. Harvick does slide in line, though, right in front of Joey Logano to hold on to 9th, and now he's going to have to get back by the 48. And the 48's going to have a massive run on his teammate. But Harvick's got a massive run on the 48 with the push from behind by the 22. Harvick to the outside. Who will Logano go with? Logano going to go with Harvick. Harvick still got the run on the back straightaway. He'll get by Byron for 7th place. He'll pull down on the back straightaway clear. 48 and the 22 back to the outside. No rearview mirror. I had no clue the 48 was up on the outside with that big of a run. Otherwise, I would have moved up. It's hard to time it. 48 down to the bottom now. Green-white checkered flag in the air. Somebody has won stage 1. Harvick trying to block for 7th. Into the tri-oval. Coming to the line. Byron not going to be able to get by Bowman. And Kevin Harvick is going to finish 7th in stage 1. I'll take it. I'll take it. Kyle Larson going to win stage 1 tonight at Talladega. Denny Hamlin 2nd. Michael McDowell 3rd. Eric Almirola 4th. Chase Elliott will be 5th. Martin Truex Jr. 6th. Kevin Harvick in 7th. Alex Bowman 8th. William Byron 9th. Tyler Reddick will round out the top 10 in stage 1. Just one caution in the opening stage was at lap 38, if I'm not mistaken. This will be the second caution of the race during the stage break itself. I don't know if I want to pit or not. I think I have to, just in case we get any cautions again. But then again, I mean, I was still on the lead lap at the end of the stage, so I don't know. If I go to the back, I'm going to lose the lead draft, so I think I'm just going to stay up towards the front here. And we're going to stay out of the pits to start the second stage. I know it's going to be a one-stop stage regardless. Well, it's going to be 2 because I'm not pitting during the stage break, but everybody else is going to have to pit twice. Obviously, we'll know if anybody else pitted. If we're going to be the leader on the restart, then that means that the field pitted, which is not good for us. But if they do not pit, I think staying out is going to be the call. The problem is we'll not know until the restart. And I'll stay out. Davion West, thanks for tuning in. Yep, it looks like they did stay out. So green flag in the air. We'll have another 60 laps in stage 2. The Talladega Super Speedway. Only a couple cars are actually lapped down right now. It's one way to get back to the lead pack. Just have the stage break bunch everybody back up together. Inside lane having a pretty good initial start following the restart. Harvick staying on the bottom. Got a major run behind Michael McDowell, the 34. Pulls to the outside in front of Chase Elliott in the 9. Elliott kind of dropping back, and Harvick will move back down to the bottom behind the 34 of McDowell in 3rd. Byron kind of followed Harvick all the way up here to 4th. Oh, he got into the back of McDowell. Got a little loose off the exit of the corner. He checked up. And Harvick can emerge back into traffic. Great save by Harvick, but the front of his race car started turning down towards the infield off of turn 4. Now he's trying to lead this second group and hopefully not lose that lead pack off turn 2. Fell back to 12th after being in 3rd place off the exit of turn 4. Reddick going to give him a nice little push on the back straightaway. They're closing in. Not quite in the draft yet behind these cars in front of him. He's getting close, and he's got a big run because now he's in the draft behind Eric Almirola. Almirola moved off the double yellow line. Harvick will take him 3 wide to the bottom. And he's definitely making some passes, really hoping nobody's going to chop down on his nose right in front of him. And he'll carry this run all the way back up to 7th place on the inside lane. Truex checks up going into the corner. Why'd my car get so loose? I don't understand why my car got loose at Talladega like that. It got loose when I bump drafted. It's like when the cautions come out, it feels like the game doesn't even handle the same anymore. And unfortunately, Harvick is blowing a tire. He was going to have to pit within a lap or 2, but he's going to lose quite a bit of this lead pack. And it's more damage on the car. He's trying to get to the bottom because he needs to pit. There we go. Frustrating. Harvick's in. Second stop of the day. Truex checked up. I went high, and when I went high, my car got loose. I don't even know how. How does my car get loose? Transferring to the outside. At Talladega. Wasn't like I was going too high into the corner. Because it's Talladega. I had no clue that was going to happen. I might have burnt the rear tires off the car when I made contact with McDowell. I wanted to pull up in front of these guys. I don't think they were going to slow down. That's highly unfortunate. Now Harvick's going to be a lap down. Everybody else is going to have to pit somewhat soon. In the next probably 10 laps. Harvick pulling up right in front of Tyler Reddick on the back straight away, trying to get some draft and get back up with these leaders if at all possible. Pretty big push that Harvick has. It'll give that push to Christopher Bell on the outside lane. Back to the bottom behind Michael McDowell. He's got to run on the 48 of Bowman. He'll go high. Harvick stays in front of Reddick. It gets underneath the 34 down to the bottom. Bowman moving up high. Harvick up to the outside to follow the 48. Now he'll manage his throttle. Yeah, I mean, I should have blown a tire with that hit into the wall. I just don't like how I got loose, which led me into that position. I don't know how I got loose bump drafting McDowell off turn 4 either. You would think, like, he'd be the one to get loose. We got one car pitting from this lead pack up here. Bowman checked up, I think, as a result of it. I think Larson was coming in. Definitely have to watch some other cars pitting off turn 4 so we don't risk running into the back of these guys again. Harvick's already a lap down as it is. Last thing he needs is a caution right now to keep him a lap down. Stu Isaac, thanks for tuning in. Right. I'm going to be getting those comments like every stream from now on. It doesn't work here. You can't do it every lap either. I have complex damage on it, so... Already blew one tire. Harvick to the inside of the 48. I think there was a lap car that came out of the pits that stalled out the lead pack, and they're scrambling for the race lead now off turn 4. Harvick gonna hop in front of the 48 of Bowman with a nice little pass, pull into the bottom, and time that run out perfectly. Now he'll lead this group. Trying to catch the leaders, back down to the bottom to block the 48. Into the outside. Back to the bottom, into the corner. Christopher Bell on the inside of Bowman. Following Harvick. Harvick down in front of his teammate Almirola, really trying to control these lanes as best as he can. So difficult, though, when you consider the fact that there isn't a rearview mirror on this game. We'll watch some cars pitting off turn 4 down to the bottom lane. He's the first car in this pack on the bottom, at least. Kind of checked up behind him and slightly in front of him, and Harvick's catching up to this lead draft. And he's got a massive run coming towards turn 1. Almirola down towards the bottom. Harvick almost pulled down into him. A lot of lane changing going on. Back straightaway. Truex went to move high. Harvick already there. Harvick to the outside of the 38 now. Todd Gilliland 3 wide as they split the 38 of Gilliland. He got put in the sucker hole. Harvick finds his way down to the bottom. Kyle Larson leads. Harvick to the outside off turn 4 just in case anybody were to pit. They did not. I had a right front tire down. That's why I'm in 34th right now. Cut a right front at the beginning of the stage. Finished 7th at stage 1. Larson with a little check now. Harvick to the inside of the 5. He's got him. Harvick's got him into the corner. He's back on the lead lap. Larson stays out again. Oh, I'm not even in 5th gear? Thank you for somebody telling me that. I didn't even realize I wasn't in 5th gear the whole time. I was still doing fine in the draft. I don't think that made much of a difference. Thanks for somebody telling me, though. There's Chase Elliott. Bottom of the track. Harvick getting a push from Larson. Will clear Elliott. Elliott was 5th at the end of stage 1, so he is towards this lead pack for a reason as well. So Harvick was getting some of his time back. He did a great job manipulating the draft as best as he could, and trying to block the leader since getting into the lead as well to help him out just a bit more. Elliott with a nice run in the tri-oval. Harvick saw it at the last second, moved up right in front of him. A late block by Harvick, but it was a clean one. Those are the kind of blocks that get yourself turned, especially without a rearview mirror. I didn't even know he was on the bottom when I moved down that time. Harvick just trying to mirror drive at this point. Liam Byron just a couple positions up ahead of Harvick now. Where exactly will Harvick cycle out of the pits? Larson still on the track, has not pitted. Breaks into the 62, down on the bottom. Harvick's got a little run right now in the draft behind Brad Keselowski in the 6. Pull to the inside of him, make a pass for position. Cody Ware just up ahead now. The outside of the 51 in the tri-oval. He pulled down to the middle. I wasn't sure exactly what lane he was going to. And he kind of stayed in the middle once he went there, and Harvick decided to go high. It worked out. Didn't have to rip the gas and break his momentum at all. Cycling through our second set of green flag pit stops today at Talladega. Everybody's going to have to pit one more time yet in this stage. Not sure if everybody is pit yet or not. I wouldn't think so, but no, not everybody is pit because Logano's the leader and it's only half a second behind Harvick. Harvick closing in on the 99 of Daniel Suarez in front of him. He's catching up to him in the tri-oval. He's gets to the bottom. Suarez going to pull off the double yellow line. Harvick stays against it and passes the 99 for 20th. Just got to hope a caution doesn't come out before Bowman, Logano, and the rest of those leaders behind the 4 of Harvick pit. I mean, that's the big thing right now. Harvick to the outside to block Suarez. Bowman still leading. Lap 75 of 188. Lap 15 of 60 in stage 2. Bowman putting Suarez a lap down in 3 and 4. Now going to try to put the 4 of Kevin Harvick a lap down. None of the leaders seem to pit that time. They can't go too much further on fuel, you'd have to imagine. Earl, thanks for tuning in. Timmy Hill in 18th right now in that NBM 66 machine. Having a solid run so far at Talladega. Still a little over half the race yet to go. 23 likes. Our goal is 50 tonight on the stream. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content if you haven't already. We progress along in this Geico 500 at Talladega. Kevin Harvick trying to go for 4 wins in a row tonight. Finished 7th in stage 1. He's dropped back a little bit after an issue at the beginning of stage 2. I wonder if it's possible that those leaders that haven't pit during green flag conditions yet, I wonder if it's possible that they pitted during the stage break. Wouldn't have thought anybody did. Definitely nobody in front of Harvick did. Bowman was just behind him. I don't know where he restarted, though. If it was around Harvick or not. Well, never mind. They're coming in. So they did not pit during the stage break. That answers my question. Somebody else leaving pit road right now. That'll be a spot. Never mind, it was not. Somebody who was already lapped down, I believe. So Harvick should gain more positions next lap. How many more, though, will be the question. Prime drink? No, I haven't. Couple more cars out of that lead pack. Gonna pit this time. Car's trying to get up to speed down below the apron right now. It's Briscoe, Blaney, and then Ty Dillon. Harvick will cycle out in front of Blaney. I don't know that he's going to catch Ty Dillon, though. He's probably not going to catch him. He barely caught the 12. I thought he was going to catch him a lot further down the back straightaway. But he did pass him into turn 3. 12 still trying to get up to speed. Keselowski trying to lead the outside. Harvick going to block the 6. Into the bottom quickly as he saw Reddick at the last second trying to get around the 6 car. Busch getting up to speed on the bottom. That's a spot as well. Ty Dillon will get past for a position. So Harvick to 16th on the leaderboard. Bowman in 15th. I believe everybody has cycled through green flag pit stops and about half a tank of gas left yet for Kevin Harvick. I pitted just a couple laps into the stage, so I'll have to pit probably around lap like 35 or so in the stage if I had to imagine. Everybody's going to have to pit again, though. I don't think anybody can go longer than 34 to 36 laps on fuel. Harvick going to block Reddick. Ryan Blaney going to move up. Harvick down to block the 6. Blaney pulling away. Kind of getting a little bit too far out ahead of this pack. Well, Blaney tried to lead this pack for right now. Harvick going to give him potentially a push. Had to move to the outside to try to block the 6, though. Oh, and Harvick down right in front of Ty Dillon, and Dillon gave the 4 a big shot into turn 3. Got the 4 car a little loose, too, with that push, but Harvick hangs on to it. Really just wants Ryan Blaney to lead this group right now. About 7 seconds behind a handful of race cars up there. If he can get back in the top 10 before the next set of stops, that'd be ideal. I'm definitely going fuel only on the next stop. No question. Just got to bank on the fact that I don't blow a tire. Shouldn't need a full tank either. Push off turn 4. Harvick got loose. Same spot he got loose at the beginning of the stage with Michael McDowell. Pushed him right off the exit of turn 4. Transition from the banking to the flatness of the straightaway. And he's definitely got a fast car, though, right now. Harvick managing the gas. The right time, so bump draft Blaney on the straightaways, but really doesn't want to in the corners. Blaney's swinging around quite a bit on the straightaway right now, though, and Harvick didn't even push him. Didn't feel comfortable doing it. Still stage 2. You don't want to be out of your comfort zone this early yet. You gotta be forced into it eventually, with it being Talladega, but didn't want to yet. Look at how tight everybody is behind each other right now. Ty Dillon was all over the back of the 4. Stenhouse leaving the pits. It's another spot. I forgot he pitted way later than everybody else last time, too. He might be able to make it to the end of the stage. Have to wait and see. William Albright, thanks for tuning in. Can't pass him, get on the wall floor. I'm already mostly full throttle. Yeah. I'm not really trying to pass him right now, honestly. I think he's a faster lead car in the draft than I am. I'm just hoping Ty Dillon doesn't hang me out to dry. That's what I'm really hoping. Keeps getting big runs on me. He's not really doing anything with it. He moved high that time. Definitely isn't as many cars in this pack as there once was. Harvick pushing Blaney on the back straightaway. Nice bump draft that time. They're definitely catching the 3 cars of Almirola, Larson, and whoever else that is up there. Bowman, maybe? And Harvick starting to pull away a little bit. Even Reddick and Dillon and Gregson, they're all a second behind the 12 and the 4. Appreciate that comment, William. Blaney's not holding the line very well on the straightaways. I was confident pushing him before, but now not so much. I gave him a slight push, but it was really close to that right rear corner panel. I don't think they got to get super aggressive with the pushing. It's going to give him another shot in the tri-oval because they're pulling away from the 3 cars behind him, and they're definitely closing in on the next 3 cars in front of them. And hopefully that group will be a bit quicker. And honestly, by the time they get to that group, Harvick may have to pit anyway. That was dangerous. Push that left rear corner panel. Everybody hanging on to it. Harvick trying to get his speed back. Burps the gas in the middle of the corner. He stays behind the 12 of Blaney. Two-car tandem between the 12 and the 4 right now. We're less than halfway through the stage yet. Still about a quarter tank of gas left. Blaney to the outside, down to the middle, and towards the bottom. Harvick gave him just a tiny push in the middle of the corner. Be careful pushing at the corner. Harvick did it most of the way through that corner. 3.5 seconds behind Bowman. The last of those 3 cars up ahead. I'm just hoping the tires last to the end of the stage. That's what I'm scared of. I really want to go fuel only to try to gain some track position. But I'm scared in the sense that I'm not exactly sure the tires will make it. And even if they make it, the car's already a little loose towards this point of the run, and the later end of the run as it is. I don't know. Do not trust Ryan pushing me. No, yeah, that's why I'm definitely staying behind him. I'm fine with being the second car in this group. 24 likes on the stream. We're about 5 laps shy of halfway, and we're 1 like shy of our halfway to our goal, which is 50 likes on the stream tonight. So be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Live race commentary streams on the race weekends for the real races, the video game races during the week. And because the NASCAR off-season is coming up, and I'll be at Phoenix this weekend for the championship for all 3 series, there will be race highlight videos from the grandstands for the races I go to, just like we have done all year long and last year as well for those races. And starting next season, I'll be doing live commentary for the Xfinity and the truck races, as well as the Cup Series races on the race weekends I don't go to. And most of the time I do go to races. I usually only go to the Cup race, so almost every Xfinity and Truck Series race next year will be live commentary streamed on the channel. And then also, I'll be doing some fun stuff this off-season, be doing some NASCAR reaction videos, be reacting to some older NASCAR moments classic moments of older races. Every Thursday, we'll do a Throwback Thursday where I'll watch an old Daytona 500 leading up to the Daytona 500 in February. So doing some fun stuff on the channel this offseason. You won't want to miss it. And we're going to definitely have a lot of fun here collectively as we get the 2023 season underway once the 2022 season wraps up this weekend. But that first reaction video will be on Monday next week, by the way. As soon as the offseason comes upon us. I'll record it on Thursday before I leave Friday morning on the plane to Phoenix. So again, right now, the plan for Kevin Harvick is to go fuel only. 28 laps to go in the stage. At least being in line behind a car in front of him, as long as he doesn't bump draft him, the car's going to get really, really tight. So that kind of helps the freeness of the race car. The way he's burning off the rear tires a bit more than the fronts. Yes, I was at the Daytona 500 last year, and I plan on going again next year as well. So, go back, watch the vids from that weekend this year, and do the same thing next year. Yeah, first live commentary stream should be the Busch Light Clash next season on the channel. As of right now. I'll know once I get further into the off-season exactly what races I'm going to next year, but I definitely know I'm going to the 500 again next year. I was kind of hoping Kevin Harvick is going to catch these 3 cars in front of him. They're still 3 seconds behind. They're catching up on some of the other drivers, though, at the very front of the field. Harvick going to give a nice little push towards the end of the backstretch into turn 3 on Ryan Blaney. Still pushing him in the middle of the corner. Kind of a last-ditch effort here, these last laps before Harvick pits. It'll be 30 laps into this run at the start-finish line this time by on these current tires. Went 31 or 32 laps earlier. So Harvick will stay out of the pits this time by, and then he'll pit at lap 35 in the stage, which would be lap 95 total. So lap 95, which would be the halfway mark, is when Harvick will take his 3rd stop of the day. It's originally a 5-stop race. It's still looking to be that way. It's only pitted twice so far. This next stop going to be fuel only, though. So again, Harvick stays out this time. He'll pit the following time by. Chase Elliott up to 17, trying to lead that next group behind Blaney and Harvick. Harvick going to bump draft Blaney just a little bit in the tri-oval again. Oh, Blaney with a little block on the 4 of Harvick. Harvick got underneath the 12 and Harvick trying to pass the 12 car right now off the exit of turn 2, but they're still side by side on the back straightaway. Blaney getting the run off the high side with no drafting help behind him. Blaney throws another bad block on Harvick in which he wasn't clear. Harvick going to pit this time anyway. Blaney tried to wreck the 4 car a couple times there. Luckily, Harvick was able to keep control. And he's going to pit this time off the exit of turn 4. Can't lock those tires up and has to get down to 55 miles per hour, which is pit road speed, and he easily does get down to 55. He is in. No tires for Kevin Harvick. It'll be fuel only on the 4 car. And it'll be a full tank. So get him to the end of the stage. Yep, trivia question tonight. Who is the only Ford to win from the pole besides Bill Elliott in the NASCAR Cup Series at Talladega? That is tonight's trivia question. Other than Bill Elliott, who is the only other Ford driver in NASCAR Cup Series history to win from the pole at Talladega? I'll give you guys until lap 100 to answer that question correctly. It seemed like an absurdly long fuel-only stop. What is going on with my car right now? I did not do that. Yeah, I had no control of the car. That seemed like a very long fuel-only stop. I'm not gonna lie. The rest of the field should pit within the next 10 to 15 laps. Most of them, at least. Are they catching up to the 34 of Michael McDowell? The draft behind him. Harvick looking to stay behind the 34. Gives him a little bump draft. Middle of the tri-oval, Kyle Larson. Eric Almirola right there. Harvick going to go to the outside. And Almirola ended up not going with his teammate. Oh boy, Harvick almost moved down right in front of Timmy Hill. It's actually Alex Bowman. Why? The car should not be that... I'm regretting taking fuel only. But the car should not be that loose. We not going to have a caution? I pulled up trying to... There's the caution. There's the caution. It is not Dale Jarrett or Kevin Harvick or Brad Keselowski. I cannot believe that my car got that loose off turn 2. I know I didn't take tires, but why am I loose at Talladega? They take fuel-only stops all the time. I didn't even lock the tires up either. Well, now I know not to take fuel-only again. That's what happens when you don't have stability help on this game. When you... Not, even at Talladega, the car's just too loose. I have not seen the correct answer yet in the chat. I'm going to have to pit. I don't know if anybody else is going to pit or not. Harvick's in. He's going to be trapped a lap down now. So Kevin Harvick is going to be a lap down tonight at Talladega. And just ran into the pace car there. But Harvick is now a lap down after that caution. The green flag is going to be back in the air. Going to have to anticipate some massive checkups. Harvick should make that lap up once everybody pits. But I don't know how much this damage is taken out of the race car as far as speed, though. You'd have to imagine he's got quite a bit of speed taken out. It's not Kenseth either. The question tonight, I'll give you guys till lap 105 because we had that caution. At the start of lap 105 will be the answer to the trivia question. Again, who is the only driver in the NASCAR Cup Series who won from the pole at Talladega? Was the only Ford that won from the pole at Talladega. Oh my gosh, the field checked up so much there. Harvick split the middle. And the parting of the seas, he didn't have to back out of the gas at all there. He definitely doesn't have all his momentum. Not Mark Martin. Yeah, I've not seen the correct answer. Not Labonte. Other than Bill Elliott. Who was the only driver to qualify on the pole at Talladega in a Ford and win the race. Elliott did it twice. This other driver did it once. Kyle Busch back at 32nd. It's not Yarborough, although he has started from the pole and won at Talladega twice. Wasn't in a Ford. So where will Kevin Harvick cycle in 23rd right now. He drafts behind the 34 of Michael McDowell. I know I can't take fuel only anymore the rest of this race, so that stinks. Harvick pushing McDowell all the way through turns 1 and 2. 16 laps to go yet in this second stage. McDowell going to pull off the top initially here. Harvick going to cut back down to the bottom right behind him. Now McDowell goes wide. And Kevin Harvick will clear the 34 car off turn 4. McDowell in 10th. He has not pit yet. By the way, that first caution of stage 2 is only the 3rd caution of the night. We had 5 before our glitch yesterday. Not glitch, I should say the game crashing. That was in the first 70 laps. We're already at lap 106. It's not Dale Jarrett, not Gilliland. And David Gilliland never won a cup race at Talladega. Finished 2nd. I don't even know that he started on the pole in that race or not. So the answer, because nobody has gotten it yet, the answer is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. The only other driver for Ford to win at Talladega from the pole other than Bill Elliott, who did it twice. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., although he only did it once, but Stenhouse 2017 spring race. I don't think I saw Stenhouse as one of the answers in the chat. I'm surprised nobody guessed it, with it not being all that long ago. I think a lot of people forget Stenhouse won. Alan Cochran, thanks for tuning in. Definitely not Dale Sr. He did not drive for Ford. Yep, 2017 Stenhouse. Spencer didn't do it from the pole. There were a couple guys that started outside of the front row in 2nd. There's some definite speed taken out of this 4-car of Kevin Harvick because he's only hitting 172 to 173 miles an hour on corner entry when he doesn't have a car in line in front of him to draft off of. Keegan's future Sunday. Rainer Martinez, welcome into the stream. 27 likes, so be sure to hit that like button. If you have not already, the goal is 50 tonight. We'll have 80 laps to go at the start-finish line this time by. And about 12 laps to go yet, stage 2. Still waiting on the leaders to pit before the end of the stage. Harvick has already made his mid-stage stop. How much longer can these guys go on fuel with only 12 laps left? Harvick's plan is going to be to pit during the stage break. His car is crinkled from the most recent accident he was unfortunately involved in. Pretty much single car. He's got loose off turn 2. He went fuel only on his stop initially, and then ended up having to come back down and take tires under the caution. He got loose all on his own. Didn't have anybody directly behind him. Car just hung a left. For whatever reason, you can't go fuel only at Talladega on this game without stability. Bivell's car looks like it flipped. Yeah, he's got some damage too. Probably why he's in last. There was a caution earlier in stage 1 that we have no clue exactly what it came out for. Christopher Bell at 22nd, just past Kevin Harvick for position. Harvick able to get down in front of Kyle Busch, breaking up those JGR Toyotas that were trying to work together on the inside lane. Busch going to give the 4 of Harvick a massive shot here. He pulled out of line a little late. Harvick picking up his pace just a little bit, though, behind Bell on the outside lane now. His speeds are up at least a bit. And Harvick trying to go for 4 wins in a row tonight. Some of the leaders leaving the pits right now. Some of them may have even been on pit road there. Josh Bilicki in 39th, just up the way. Oh, Bilicki slowing Kyle Busch up just a little bit. Crowded him going into turn 3. Bilicki was still trying to get up to speed after leaving the pits. Couple cars trying to pit. In fact, somebody went through the grass. They definitely missed the commitment line if they weren't in the grass. They were in that yellow painted asphalt down on the bottom of the track. Right before the grass, but past the commitment line. Too bad they don't get penalized. When I do it, I get stuck in the grass. That happened before game crashing yesterday. I didn't even do it either. My car ended up out in the grass after I hit the commitment line, and then I got stuck. So Harvick going to try to pick up as many positions, obviously, as possible here before the end of the stage. If he can get back in the top 10 and get stage points at both stages tonight, that'd be big. You know, Christopher Bell's got a pretty decently fast car. But I don't know who still has to pit and who doesn't yet. Casgralla for a spot. Bell going to the outside. He's got to run off turn 2. Will anybody try to block Bell? Kurt Busch in second place down on the bottom. He will not hop up in front of fellow Toyota driver Christopher Bell. 185 that time on the back straightaway. Again, there's a lot of damage on the 4 car. He's not hitting speeds in the draft that he was earlier in the race since the most recent wreck. And the only wreck he's been involved in today in which a caution came out. You better hope those leaders pit because we only have 7 laps to go in the stage at the line. Harvick does not want to be trapped a lap down at the end of the stage. They just passed Kurt Busch, who was in second. So the leader's still in front of him somewhere, unless they just pitted, but I didn't see anybody out of the ordinary on pit road there. I don't think Harvick's going to get back in the top 10 this stage. Just going to have to ride it out. Derek Mundane, thanks for tuning in. Well, he got around Kyle Busch. He'll push Kevin Harvick in the 4 now in the back straightaway. Kyle Busch, Justin Haley, Chase Elliott keep going back and forth for position. Michael McDowell on the outside. Harrison Burton's in 35th. He's a couple laps down. Bell closing in behind these cars. He's going to check up. Kevin Harvick going to stay in the gas. Gets behind the 34. Lifts just a little bit. He got checked up on the outside 3 wide. A bit of contact. Harvick got stacked up there. He definitely picked the wrong line. Gets back down to the bottom in front of Chase Elliott. Luckily, there was no wreck. Survived contact at 180 miles an hour, but no, I get loose off turn 2 and I don't take any tires. Car definitely got loose when I made contact. I was able to hang on to it. It's done that a couple times that there has been contact. Ricky Stenhouse is the leader right now. He's trying to make it upfield to the end of the stage. Harvick to the inside of the 47, trying to get back on the lead lap. And he'll do so in the 21st place position. Everybody up in this group trying to get by Stenhouse to get back on the lead lap in case Ricky on fuel mileage is able to win stage 2. Just talking about Stenhouse a little bit ago. Or trivia question. Oh, Bell moved down right in front of Harrison Burton. And Harvick couldn't clear Burton in time for it. Really trying to squeeze to the bottom right in front of Michael McDowell. Stenhouse pulling into the pits, so he will not win stage 2. 4 to go at the line. McDowell giving Harvick a big push in the tri-oval. Harvick with a run behind the 21, who moves off the bottom. Right in front of Kyle Busch, who had a run on the outside as well. Harvick with a run on Bell. Pulls to the outside, rather. McDowell going to follow the 4. Kind of just a battle for track position now. And that did not work. Guy's not really battling for any stage points. Track position to start the final stage at this point. They're closing in on the 48 car of Alex Bowman. Three to go in the stage this time by. Stage will end when the top 10 cross the start-finish line. We have seen 3 cautions, but no big one yet in this race. The final stage still looms. Harvick with a massive shot from McDowell. That was a big block, but the 4 held on to the push. Saw him wiggle quite a bit on the back straightaway with that shot from the 34. And here comes Kevin Harvick. And back to the bottom in front of Harrison Burton. Elliott on the top. Harvick will get by him for position. Bell pulling to the outside now. He'll get a push from Kevin Harvick. These guys are getting tightly bunched together right now. And they'll be coming to 2 laps to go in the stage. And with the aggressive pushing we've seen, will they even make it to the end of the stage? Oh, big block by Burton on Bell, and these two aren't even battling for position. Harvick with a run moves up in front of the 9 again. Oh, did not mean to do that, and around goes Kevin Harvick, but he clips the 9 of Chase Elliott as well. I was wondering if they were going to make it cautions out. That might have trapped Harvick another lap down. We'll have to wait and see. Caution is out to end stage 2. I moved down, and I wasn't trying to move that far down, but the car has been very loose pretty much since the end of stage 1 for whatever reason. Ryan Blaney's going to win the second stage tonight. And your stage winners, let's take a look here. That is the second stage win of the season for Ryan Blaney. Whoa, what happened there? Second stage win of the year for Ryan Blaney. Then Kyle Larson, who won stage 1. That was his third stage win of the season earlier. And both those two still looking for their first win of the season. And we're definitely going to be pitting during the stage break here. Second time Kevin Harvick's been involved in a wreck today. 4 tires and fuel. We'll try it again. Not a lot of stability in this 4-car, and the more he wrecks, the more unstable it seems to get. Green flag going to be in the air. The final stage is underway. 68 laps of racing to go. It's going to be 2 stops for everybody who did not pit during the stage break. And Harvick may end up having to pit twice anyway as well. He hasn't had great fuel mileage today. And he could be in danger of losing this lead pack with all the damage he's got on his race car right now. He doesn't have anybody behind him, which is problematic. A lot of lane changing and blocking going on. Only 3 wide towards the front of the field. Not 2x2 most of the way through the pack. It's going to be a while for anybody pits. Yeah, there is no speed in this 4-car. He has to have somebody in the draft in front and behind him to be any sort of competitive. But he didn't have anybody behind him on the restart because he was the only one that pitted. Despite the fact he's in 34th, there's other cars for position behind him. It's just the way the game works. Just have to ride it out, I guess. I have a feeling Kevin Harvick's a lap down. He might not be a lap down with that caution, but I have a feeling that he is a lap down because the wreck took place in the tri-oval, which means the leaders were well past the start-finish line because Harvick was back in fighting for about 20th, 21st, 22nd at the front of that group that was all battling for position. I don't even know why we were battling as hard as we were. There were no stage points on the line, and nobody was willing to ride it out. And I wasn't even really trying to... I don't really know what I was trying to do, to be completely honest. I moved off the top a little bit because the 9 was pretty close behind me, and when I moved down, the car turned so easily that I just turned right into the 31 and hooked myself. I wasn't even trying to move that far down the track. The car just, it feels so floaty on this game. It's not as bad with this next gen car as what it was with the Gen 6 car on the original version of this game. But it's still not great. It feels like there's a lot of grip early in the run. But when you get like past halfway through the tire stint, even at Talladega, the car feels floaty and loose. And, I mean, you guys saw me spin out when I got loose earlier. There was a couple times I was able to save it, but there was one time off turn 2 where it just completely snapped around on me. I hit the inside wall head on. That was the 3rd caution of the day at the time. That was the 4th caution during the stage break. Definitely a disappointing night for Harvick. He got some stage points in stage 1 and started off good, but really ever since that flat tire at the beginning of stage 2, really the start of stage 2 onwards, it has been a downward spiral for this 4 team. Been involved in 2 accidents and potentially a lap down. We don't even know for sure if he's a lap down or not. Potentially a lap down. We'll know when the field pits if we're a lap down or not. We're so far off the pace, we're going to go lap down within 20 laps in this stage. Unless they pit before that, but at some point, I feel it's going to be humming by us. So if we weren't a lap down yet, definitely will be. Looks like Ross Chastain's the race leader. He had one of the fast cars early on. Very good chance we're going to get our 6th different winner of the season tonight and have somebody else lock themselves into the playoffs. A lot of the drivers who have been towards the front of the field pretty much this whole race have been drivers who haven't won yet. Some of them outside the cutoff line, some of them on the inside. NASCAR The Game 2013 PC. I don't have any games for my PC. I've never played any of the Technics NASCAR games. I don't have them either. They were for PS4, like that era console, right? Xbox One. Or were they for PS3? Maybe both. Have to let me know in the chat. I think Stenhouse is in second. I think I saw that right. Derek Booth, welcome into the stream. Yeah, I think Stenhouse and Chastain are the two out at the front of the field trying to battle for the lead at Talladega. I'd be scared if I was in the middle of that pack. Be like, who and who is up there? Might as well put Joey Logano up there and make it the trifecta. That'd really be something else. Driving to Phoenix. You're from the East Coast, aren't you? It's a long haul. Take it safe. Sean Derriman, thanks for tuning in. I think I saw Ty Dillon in third as well. Definitely a little bit of a unique running order at the front. And if you're just tuning in for the first time, Kevin Harvick has been involved in a couple of accidents today at Talladega, including one right at the end of stage 2, and that is why he is running where he is right now in 33rd. I think Kyle Busch just pitted not that long ago, so he's actually in 34th. About 9 seconds behind Harvick, but Harvick in 33rd. See how crinkled the nose of the race car is after hitting the inside wall head on off of turn 2. Got loose middle of the stage. That was the first time he was in an accident. Then got caught up in a wreck, which he didn't get much damage from in that one. A little bit on the rear bumper, which ended the stage. Oh, if you were at Martinsville this weekend, man, you had a show there those last 32 laps. Diecast for a handful of drivers. On with shirts and hats. Awesome, man. Sounds like you had a good time. The way the hood is kind of caked up on the race car, doesn't even look like a stock car anymore. Not that these cars look like stock cars that much anymore anyway, but it's yeah, I have hope that Harvick's still on the lead lap. He's up to 32nd. I think Todd Gilliland also pit. There is hope that Kevin Harvick is actually on the lead lap. which would mean he should cycle to the lead once everybody makes a green flag stop. They're going to have to pit twice. I would think Harvick's going to have to pit twice, but he'll stretch it out as long as he possibly can. He's got nothing to lose at this point. As we get some cautions, he might play a little bit different of a strategy game. We'll have to wait and see, of course. Cody Ware is in third. Ty Dillon second. Chastain still in the lead. Definitely been one of the stronger cars today when he's out in front of the pack. Be the one Trackhouse Chevrolet of Chastain. I have time to do the long races just because I make the time for it. Like, I had to work a full shift, 10-hour shift today at my full-time job. Got off at 4:30 and at the stream up and running a little after 6. I'm the most patient person I know also. So if those intervals are right on our screen, they are not, because they're dropping like a rock all of a sudden. I don't see any sign of any of the leaders back there. Cody Ware scored in 30th now. I think he's on pit road right now. Might be a few cars in the pits at least. Unless he was in 30th the whole time. I thought I saw third. Must have been in 30th the whole time. $29 likes on the stream right now. Again, our goal is 50 likes on the stream tonight. So hit that like button if you haven't already. And again, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. This offseason, we'll be having some new NASCAR content on the channel. Reaction videos every Monday of older NASCAR content, as well as every Thursday, a NASCAR throwback stream where I'll go back and watch an old Daytona 500 leading up to the start of the season at Speed Weeks in February. And during the season, if that's those streams do well during the offseason, then I'll do some more Throwback Thursday stuff and watch some old races of tracks that they are going to that weekend. I just kind of clipped the apron going into 3. That sucked the car down the track immediately. Ty Dillon is taking the lead at the front of the field now. Kevin Harvick still out in front for the time being. Well, not out in front, but he's in 32nd. It's not the same thing. I meant to say he's got nobody around him. We're not at the front, we're at the back. Lead lap. Presumably on the lead lap. Maybe a lap down, I really have no clue. Could be a lap down, won't know until the end of the race. Oscar Mears Herrera, thanks for tuning in. Ty Dillon might win his first career race today at Talladega on NASCAR 22, and I can kind of see that lead pack closing in. They're about 5 seconds behind Harvick. Kyle Busch at the front of that, who was already pit. Harvick's getting slightly better fuel mileage than what he was at the beginning of the race today, with running a slower pace despite not having any drafting help. Max speed's about 10 miles per hour slower at the end of the straightaway than single car speed without the damage. Yeah, I'm actually flying out of Cleveland this weekend. I've never been to that airport. There wasn't a direct flight from Detroit, so within reasonable price for me, so ended up going with Cleveland Airport. Found something more affordable and a direct flight. So I'll get there in plenty of time before the truck race on Friday. RBLX Viper, thanks for tuning in. Chastain going to pit this time by. Ty Dillon still out on the racetrack. Kyle Busch on the outside of the 4 of Kevin Harvick. Harvick going to slide up right in front of Ty Dillon. And he wants to stay behind the 18 of Kyle Busch at all costs. Trying to stay in the lead lap in case we get a caution in the middle of green flag stops as well. Laney's about 6 seconds behind Ty Dillon right now. Harvick trying to desperately stay in the draft of Kyle Busch. Help save a little bit of gas as well. Dillon on the outside, giving the 4 a little bit of a shot again. Yeah, Kevin Harvick is a lap down, unfortunately. He shouldn't be a lap down, but that caution at the end of stage 2 put Harvick a lap down. Because he passed Cindric Timmy Hill in 15th and 16th down on the bottom of the track, and that tells me they're now a lap down until Ty Dillon pits. So Kevin Harvick, unfortunately, is a lap down at Talladega right now. Cars coming out of the pits down to the bottom of the track. I wonder when Ty Dillon's going to pit. They're out there a lot longer than the rest of the field. And this is very unfortunate for Harvick. This is going to be his worst finish on an oval this year. Coda, he finished last after winning stage 2 and finishing... Actually, I think he won... Yeah, he won the first 2 stages of that race. He's got to fight it out, try to get the best position, finishing position possible. Every point matters in this race for the regular season championship. Gosh darn it. Clipped the apron again, and now he's going to be in danger of losing Kyle Busch in the 18. He stayed in the gas, kind of drove out of it, but cars behind him definitely lifted and got loose enough that that momentum broke itself even without having to lift. Still about a third of a tank left for Harvick yet. He's hoping he can make it on one stop so he can at least get a top 25 finish at the very least. Harvick up to kind of check that 24 Byron on the outside. Probably say somewhere around 20 cars would have been on the lead lap at the end of stage 2. Cars zooming to the outside of Kevin Harvick into turns 1 and 2. William Byron is there. Followed by Truex, Cindric, Suarez. Harvick moves up in front of the 99 though. Harvick just does not have speed. Really wish I didn't wreck at the end of stage 2. We would have been on the lead lap to start the final stage. Wouldn't be in the lead right now. We'd be about like 14th at the tail end of the lead lap. But I might have actually not started all the way as far back on the restart. I might have been in the lead pack in the draft at the start of the stage anyway. And then obviously if cautions come out, it'd be a little easier than being a lap down at the start of the stage too, to try to find some way to get back on the lead lap. Just not looking likely. Yeah, so land on the super speedway, Kevin Harvick did a pretty good job, but winning the race despite not having hardly any stage points in that race. Today, scored a few more stage points than what he did at Atlanta. Unfortunately, though, he is not going to look as if he's going to get a better finish by any means. Well, he can't finish better than first anyway, but this stinks too, because Kevin Harvick had a 7.6 average finish through the first 9 races of the season, so it's definitely going to drop and taper off quite a bit. Pulling to the right a little bit. How did I get loose? I don't understand how the car got loose that time. It snaps every now and then. And that's like the third time it's done that today. Now, I've caught it 2 of the times, but it shouldn't get loose like that at pure randomness. It did not do that at all until we had the stage break, which is exactly when we started having glitches last night. As soon as we had that first caution last night, the game raced completely different from what it does now. Well, I should say it races completely different from the start of the race. Same goes for this. We had a race at the beginning, and then once we got to the end of stage 1, it hasn't even the car hasn't even handled the same. Like, it's just getting loose out of randomness. Yeah, that's what I'm riding. I've honestly never really heard of Frontier Airline, to be completely honest. Unlike Coda, we can't just DNF here because there are still positions up for grabs. Kevin Harvick's currently in 27th. Every position is worth 1 point. For positions 36 on up. Right in line behind Briscoe. Actually looked to the inside off turn 2 as he didn't lift. 38 just doored him. And Harvick saved it. That was the same thing Ryan Blaney did back in stage 2. Harvick was holding his line. He moved down middle of the back straightaway. The same thing Ryan Blaney did when Harvick was working with him. They were just outside the top 15 earlier in the race. Got body slammed by the car on the outside. Coincidentally, Blaney ended up going on to win stage 2. I don't think we're getting the big one unless caution comes out in the middle of green flag pit stops. And then bunches the field back together, then we get a big wreck. It's going to be tougher and tougher and tougher for cautions to come out in the first place. So the more spaced out the field has been getting around this 2.66 mile racetrack. Kaz Gralla for position, as well as Bubba Wallace having a position up for grabs right now on our driver Kevin Harvick, who continues to fade. Definitely just trying to hold on for dear life. In every position he could possibly hang on to. Car's wiggling around the middle of the corner. That's why it's bobbing and weaving so much. I'm not trying to move up or down. The car's just so floaty. Past halfway through the fuel run. It's crazy it's this ill handling and just slow. I think the slower it is, the more handling it's got, because it's not as on edge, you would think. It's almost the opposite. Are we going to stay out one more lap? That'll pit this time by. Harvick bump drafting Bubba Wallace in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Didn't get super loose that time. Hit him fairly square. Wallace to the outside. Harvick stays down on the double yellow line because he's going to want to pit this time. Prala went high with the 23. Reddick goes behind the 4. He's pushing him into turns 3 and 4. Yeah, I saw that. Clip the apron. It's alright. Harvick's coming in anyway. He can't save it. He was trying to come into the pits. And then that happened. I mean, what more do we have to lose at this point? I didn't hit the wall. Four tires and fuel, no adjustments. Hopefully the final stop for Harvick today. It's been an ugly one from stage 2 onward. We were in the fight of it, finished 7th at the end of stage 1, but ever since we blew that right front at the start of stage 2, we've been playing from behind, and we just keep getting worse and worse and falling further and further back. No caution through that spin either. We continue to stay green again. Second time Harvick spun and a caution didn't come out. How he lost a lap earlier during one of the yellows. Gonna get back onto the speedway. Nobody else behind him for the meantime. 36 is where Kevin Harvick currently runs. He's trying to ride it out. 35 likes on the stream. We're 15 away from our goal. I know you guys are just kind of watching me struggle here the second half of the race, but you'll have that from time to time. This game tends to bring out the worst of my NASCAR abilities. I believe Dover is the next racetrack, and that will be the third of 450. Okay, I thought the game crashed for a second. Controller battery died. I thought the game crashed again, honestly. I was like, you've got to be joking me. It's like we were so close to the end. I would have just simulated the rest of it at that point. We're already 36th. Oh, man. I unpaused it. My car just went straight up the track. I held on to it, though. Luckily. So because Harvick is probably 2 laps down right now, I think he can make it to the end on just 1 stop in the final stage, everybody else with 2. Because he doesn't have to run as many laps. And he has a little bit better fuel mileage with a slower car, at least, than what he did, say, back in stage 1, where he only went 31 laps. He went 33 this time. Lap down on both sides. As long as he goes 33 laps on fuel again, he'll make it to the end. He had a little bit of drafting help towards the middle and the back half of that last fuel run. Not a lot in the first half to first 2/3 of it, though. And at the very beginning of this fuel run, no drafting help either in front or behind him as well. Chastain's still out in front. Eric Jones in second. Can we get another new winner? And potentially an underdog winner. Chastain looking for his first career win. Remember, he didn't win until COTA in real life this season because it's the 2022 NASCAR season and NASCAR schedule on this game that he's trying to go for his first career win at Trackhouse Racing. Trying to get Trackhouse Racing's first win as an organization as well. Looks like we have about 32 laps to go right now. Considering Harvick is probably 2 laps down, means we have about 30 to go right on the dot. Maybe in danger of falling a 3rd lap down once these leaders get to him. Chastain, Jones, and then Elliott in 18th is right with those guys. A few other cars seems like are with that group. We'll go back to the far chase cam for the rest of the race when we get to the start-finish line this time by. The short tracks have been good for Harvick. He's won at every track 1 mile or less in length, so with going to Dover next, that could be a good shot for him to win. Plus, he's won the first 2 50% races of the season as well. So I think Dover could be a good track for Harvick to try to go for that 6th win of the season. Jones being split apart from Chastain. Elliott now drafting with the 1. Chastain pulling away. Led a lot of laps in this race despite not winning either of the first 2 stages. They get stage points at both stages though tonight. Win guarantees him a spot. He's below the cutoff line through the first 9 of 26 regular season races. Definitely not a great start. In fact, his teammate Daniel Suarez is in the playoffs as of right now, but he is not. Chastain to the outside. Jones, oh man, Harvick pulled up right in front of Eric Jones and he turned himself, and now he will be 3 laps down because the caution flag will come out once again. Harvick might as well pit again. Another caution in today's race, our 5th of the race. This would be the least amount of cautions we've had in an oval race this season, the way things are looking. That was too aggressive. I tried to slide up in between the top 2, and I honestly thought there was still a big gap between them when I moved up. I probably would have known if I had a rear view mirror, but again, I complain about that a lot, but that is a huge gripe when you're super speedway racing. Especially when you have cars with runs coming up on you. There's so many times I hesitate to move up or down because I don't know if I'm clear or not, and sometimes I am clear and sometimes I'm not. Car's checking up on the restart. Harvick clips the apron and got a little sideways. Now he's probably going to lose the draft. I don't know why they checked up on the restart. I don't know if somebody spun their tires or what went down there. Harvick back at 39th after that wreck. He just pitted, but he also did lose another lap right before the caution came out, so he's probably 3 down. At least there's some cars he can draft off of. Just gotta hope he can stay with them. Having a BJ McLeod. I thought he was behind Harvick. He must have pitted or something. So much for that. I don't really watch soccer. I didn't even know what was going on right now. The World Cup. If there's any soccer I watch, that would be it, but I don't even think I watched the last couple of them. Car's pitting from the pack just up ahead. Less than 20 laps to go, I'd have to assume right now. Probably 19 or 20 to go. Better luck at Dover, I guess. Harvick's got that date circled. Not going to be getting many points today, and he'll definitely lose that regular season points lead, and Byron should have the lead once again. After Harvick finally took that regular season points lead away from William Byron, just for Byron to take it back in the very next race. They both had stage points at stage 1, but then Byron has just been consistently outrunning Harvick since then. So Harvick actually beat Byron by 2 spots in that first stage, him finishing 7th, Byron 9th. Just riding it out. I don't really know what to talk about at this point. I'm sorry for not really talking a whole lot in the final stage, but we've been kind of driving by ourselves most of the time. And when we get cars around us, they blow right by us because of how damaged this car is. 3 times Harvick is wrecked today. Chastain's still in the lead, though, after the most recent restart. So he's holding on. Can he still get the win? And I still think everybody has to pit one more time. Unless they pitted during the caution, which is very much possible. In that case, they won't have to pit again. And they're not going to have enough laps to get back to Harvick, I don't believe. I said earlier that there were still spots up for grabs. That's why I didn't just end it when I fell 2 laps down. Because at the time we were still in, like, what, 26th? It's like every point is a position for 36th on up. Well, we're in 38th, so we're only going to get 1 point anyway. It would have been the same if I just DNF'd and finished 40th. So it's kind of been a waste of time these last 20 minutes or so. And counting. I don't even know. Wasn't paying enough attention there. It's uneventful from our behalf. I'm sure they're battling for the lead very aggressively at the front of the field. It does seem like the AI are making more moves at Talladega. And actually, Chastain's back to 5th right now. Make that 8th. I think he might be on his way into the pits. We'll see if Harvick can get some positions. Every point matters for that regular season championship. NASCAR lawnmower service. Yep, there are cars in the pits. I think Chastain would have been one of them. Harvick picked up 1 spot. I'm so thankful I didn't blow a tire there. I was looking at the leaderboard. Oh boy. Jeez. 36th. Okay, so Harvick's in 36. If he gains any spots from here on up, he'll get more than just 1 point. I'm not sure if he's on the same lap as anybody else or not. Maybe they DNF. Who knows? Could get some cars to DNF. It'll be interesting to see who exactly is going to cycle to the lead as well. Maybe we get another caution. I mean, Harvick would get one of his 3 laps back. And there is a spot for Harvick. He's up to 35th. Okay, so this was worth running to the end because we did get 1 more spot. or one more point than what we would have if I just quit. That could be the difference. You never know. Daytona regular season finale could be the difference. Note to self, don't take fuel only again on the super speedways. Unless I have stability on. But I did not when I just pitted, so. Or back at stage 2 when I spun. Cody Ware's in 34th. He might be in the pits right now, too. We'll see if we can get to Cody Ware. Nope, not yet at least. About 7 seconds ahead of Harvick yet. I think he was just exiting pit road, so Harvick didn't quite get up to Cody Ware. Nobody in the vicinity behind Harvick that he can let in front and try to hopefully draft behind. It's been tough to draft behind cars anyway and keep up with them. She's getting a massive push from behind with all the damage this 4 car's carrying. So 15 laps to go on our screen, assuming we're 2 laps down. Means we have 13 laps to go in the Geico 500 at Talladega. Can't tell if Kevin Harvick is closing in on Cody Ware or not. Our leaderboard's so wonky, I don't know who's faster. I would think that Kevin Harvick isn't as fast with the damage, but it is a Rick Ware Racing Ford, so you never know. It's going to be an epic battle for 34th if Harvick is slowly quicker than Cody Ware. I wonder if 4th gear is any faster. No, I was losing time. It was worth a shot. I was wondering if maybe I was slow enough I could run 4th gear, and the RPMs are definitely cranking a little higher, but a little too high. Wasn't getting any speed out of it. Stenhouse back in the top 5, currently in 5th. Chase Briscoe in 7th for Stewart-Haas Racing. Christopher Bell's about 5.5 seconds behind Harvick, but he is in 30th. But if Harvick can somehow keep up with Bell in the draft, then they're going to have a good chance of catching Cody Ware. That's another point for Harvick if he gets to 34th. We still have at least 9 laps to go at the line, if not 8. I think Harvick's a slight bit quicker than Ware, but not by much on his own. 20 of Bell's definitely closing in over a second a lap faster than Harvick, so he'll get to Harvick in a couple laps. Nobody behind him, though, so it's going to be tough for Harvick to just kind of stay in that draft. Wonder if it's possible for the lead pack to catch Kevin Harvick yet before the end. Green flag pit stops definitely had to have spaced the field out a bit different, because they weren't going to catch Harvick if it just stayed green to the end from that last restart with about 26 to go. Chastain is in 8th place right now, so that tells me at least the top 7 have not pitted since the most recent restart. Can they make it on fuel to the end? It's all going to be a matter of if they pitted during the last stage or not, which still not sure if they did or not. Bell's still about 2 seconds behind Harvick yet. I think Harvick and Ware are pretty even. I don't think Harvick's closing in on him by himself. Somebody else leaving the pits back there. I think it was Ty Dillon, so Chastain's going to be able to cycle ahead of Dillon for 7th. As Ty gets up to speed. Yep, there he goes. 5 seconds behind Harvick. We might see the leaders battle for the win here. Depending on where everybody cycles out of the pits, if we continue to see pit stops at the front of the field, at least see something interesting. It might give you guys, might be able to give you guys a call of the finish of the race. Christopher Bell, less than a second behind Harvick. I was gonna say, I thought he was running the outside through the corner. It's gotten by Chastain. He's leading that group right now. Here comes Ryan Blaney out of the pits. He is in 19th. That's not a spot. Harvick's got about a third of a tank of fuel left. He can definitely make it 9 more laps. A couple laps down anyway, so he doesn't even have to go all 9. So Harvick going to slide right up in front of Christopher Bell in the 20. If Chastain gets back to the lead, that's a less of a lap that he's going to have trying to catch Cody Ware for position. He might have to try to stay in front of him just in case, although he's not the leader yet. As of right now, it doesn't really matter. Bell would just kind of stand behind Harvick, though, down to the bottom through 3 and 4 that time. More cars coming out of the pits for Chastain to try to pass. Larson, Almirola. Chastain's back inside the top 5 to 5th. He might win this race still. Bell gonna get by. Elliott gonna let the 4 car of Harvick in line in front of him. There goes Chastain down to the bottom with Martin Truex Jr. Cindric trying to battle the 1 potentially for the win if everybody cycles through. Suarez in this group as well. Right there with this Trackhouse Racing teammate. Harvick's kind of holding up the 2 though. Harvick's trying to stay in the draft of these guys, and he just, for the life of him, cannot do it. Briscoe leaving the pits. That's another spot. Chastain to 4th. Harvick moving to the top. He's going to let the 99 go on the bottom. Cindric behind the 4 right now. A little contact. Into the corner with Suarez. Well, we'll see. Does Daniel Suarez have enough to catch his teammate of Ross Chastain? The 2 of Cindric trying to push the 4. The 4 tries to desperately keep up with the 99. I think Harvick's going to be 3 down. Logano's for a spot, so is Kurt Busch. Going to get Suarez to 3rd on the back straightaway right now. Chastain's up to 2nd. Whoever the race leader is still has to pit. And then it'll be 1-2 for Trackhouse Racing at Talladega with less than 5 laps to go. And the Geico 500. Harvick trying to stay in the draft of these cars to try to catch Cody Ware to the finish yet. Kurt Busch in the battle with Cindric from behind. And if that was the leader down on the apron of the track, it is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And now Ross Chastain has cycled back to the lead with less than 5 laps to go. And his teammate Daniel Suarez is now in second. We've had 4 overtime finishes this year. Could this potentially be another one? Cody Ware still about 3 seconds ahead of Harvick. He's losing Chase Elliott, though, in turns 3 and 4. Harvick staying with Suarez. Suarez is a few seconds behind his teammate Chastain for the win right now. Unless Chastain gets held up by slower cars, I don't think there's any real chance that this group of Suarez, Kurt Busch, Austin Cindric, Ricky Stenhouse could get up there. They might have to just battle for second amongst each other. Cindric gets by Kurt Busch as he drafts behind Harvick on the inside, who is still behind the 99 of Daniel Suarez. Haven't gotten the white flag yet. Potentially this time by we will be. The Car Joy, welcome into the stream. Well, Harvick finally catching Cody Ware. Off turn 4, Suarez looking high. Harvick going to look high as well. Cody Ware not going to try to block the 4. Well, that's another point late in this race. I think we have 3 to go. And then the 184 of 188 is how many laps down we are. So I believe we are 2 laps down right now. In 34th. 3 points for the finish and then 4 stage points today. So that'd be 7 points total for Harvick if he finishes where he is currently running. Cody Ware is keeping up with these guys in this pack, though. So he's not done in that battle for 34th with Harvick. And now we have the white flag. So we're 3 laps down. Never mind. But the white flag is in the air. Next flag will end the race. Ross Chastain is going to pick up his first career win at Talladega, track in which he did win at in real life in 2022. It was his second career win. But this will be his first. And it's going to punch his ticket into the NASCAR playoffs on NASCAR 22. Well, Cody Ware's got a big run on the bottom right now behind Harvick. Harvick going to have to try to hold on for 34th as he sits still behind Suarez. Suarez still trying to fend off everybody behind him for second and have a 1-2 finish for Trackhouse Racing for the first time in team history. Cody Ware backing up to try to get one more run in the tri-oval on Harvick. And he is coming with a head of steam right now. Looks low, but Harvick is going to beat him to the line barely by less than a half a car length for 34th. We got all the points we could. We got 3 for our finishing position, finishing 3 laps down. Oh boy. Ross Chastain is going to get the win, though, by 3.5 seconds after the cycling of green flag stops there in those final 10 laps. And Daniel Suarez, his teammate, will finish in second. Again, a 1-2 finish for Trackhouse Racing tonight. Austin Cindric, the rookie, finishes in third. Kurt Busch, fourth. William Byron, fifth. He'll take the regular season points lead away from Kevin Harvick today. Eric Almirola will be sixth. Ty Dillon with the top 10, finishing seventh. Kyle Larson had a great day, won a stage, finishes eighth. Chase Briscoe, ninth. Joey Logano will round out the top 10. Ryan Blaney ended up winning stage 2. Larson won stage 1. Blaney finished a lap down in 20th. We had 17 cars finish on the lead lap today. 5 cautions, 4 of them for incidents. So 5 cautions today. The least amount of yellows we've had in an oval race this season. And Coda, which had 3 cautions, is still the least amount of cautions we've had in a race as of this point of the season. So here we go. 3 down. I have to take some screenshots here of the finish. And I can't show you guys the points. I mean, once I get this done, we'll just have to wrap up the stream then. Alrighty. Yep, that's going to do it tonight. Thanks for everybody watching. We didn't hit our goal for likes, but it was kind of anticlimactic there, those final stage and a half, really. But, well, I mean, even the racing, though, while we were lapped down to stage 2 wasn't bad. It was pretty much from that wreck at the end of stage 2. I didn't have any more speed in the race car. I could barely hold on to the draft, if at all, really. The entire final stage of the race, we were kind of putt-putting around. Led us to 3 laps down, finishing 34th, even though we were 2 down going into the final stage. Or actually, we were only 1 lap down going into the final stage, and we shouldn't have even been a lap down, but that caution at the end of stage 2 ended up trapping us an extra lap, or ended up trapping us a lap down when we were on the lead lap battling for about, what, 20th at the time. So that's unfortunate, but hit that like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. I will see you guys tomorrow night on the channel. We'll race NASCAR 22 again. We will start things off at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You won't want to miss it. We'll be racing at Dover, and it'll be a 50% race. Thanks, everybody, for watching. See you guys then. Have a good rest of your Tuesday evening.